Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. What's your story? So today we're going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to have a shorter video here, hopefully, and we're just going to talk about a couple fantasy series, some novels that I just picked up. Actually, I've had the three of the four books for quite a while, but the other one was on back order. I just received it tonight, so I thought what I would do is introduce these books to you and get any feedback that you have about them, and let me know if you've ever read them, if you're interested in these, if they sound like something that's good or not. Anyways, I got two series is something like that for you guys to show you. Again, I don't normally read the top 10 bestsellers or whatever. So these series you may or may not have ever heard of, but they intrigued me, and they come highly recommended. All the videos online, I've watched the reviews of these books from some of the fantasy reviewers that I subscribe to. I've looked at a lot of the comments in the comments section, and read about the book as much as I can before I go ahead and just jump in and just buy it on a whim. So I'm not really a whim buyer. I'm more of a research and find out, would this be something I'd be interested in? So without further ado, let's get into series number one. That is the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. Book one, oops, this one is book, nope, this one, nope, there we go. Book one, The Grace of Kings, it's got SWFA Novella finalist on the book cover now, and if we actually go into the front cover, there is several different awards this book had won. I think it was released in 2000, late 15 or early 16. I just love the look of this book. I love the feel of this book. It's just so inspiring. And then when you throw on book number two, Wall of Storms here, this book looks amazing as well. So, just a little bit of again, I haven't read these. I've only read, the back covers, and like I said, I've watched the reviews and stuff. So, basic information that I can give you on this series is it's like Game of Thrones, but has a Eastern Chinese setting to it. Basically, is the outline that I kind of get. If you look at the characters' names here, is Kunigara, okay, Matra Sindru, um, Kuri and Mata become fast friends, and they wage separate wars against vast conscripted armies and silk-draped airships. So you have some of this, silk, bamboo. A lot of the characters' names obviously are Eastern inspired. So if you like Game of Thrones, and you like that political intrigue back and forth, armies massing against one another for different political reasons, but you like the Eastern flavor to it, this might be a series that you might be interested in. So, book one, always watching the screen is hard for me. So, book one, The Grace of Kings. Book two, The Wall of Storms. You can pick these up on Amazon, which I highly recommend. They're around $16.99 a piece. But be granted, this one being a little bit older, it might be on back order. This is the actual book I was waiting on. So it might be on back order. If you're trying to get into this series, you might want to think about picking this up while you can. Grace of Kings by Ken Liu and The Wall of Storms. Again, these books look amazing. Book one is, what do we say it was? 618 pages. 618 pages. Nice, thick monster story there. Lots to delve into there. And book two is even a bigger monster. Look at that thing. Wow. That's a monster right there. And this one is 852 pages. 852. Again, a lot of nice acolytes written about Ken Liu and his series of books, and they come highly recommended. So, Game of Thrones with an Eastern flavor, two massive books. I think there's a third one coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, or if it's already out, but I've got just the original two in the series. If you know anything about it, if you're interested at all, let me know in the comments section down below. Let's get to series number 2 now. Series number 2. See if I can hold these properly here. This is the Licanius Trilogy. Book 1 is The Shadow of What Was Lost, and they are both by James Islington. And book 2, The Echo of Things to Come. So, A Shadow of What Was Lost and Echo of Things to Come. Again, 2 monster books. As you can see here, quite a nice, big, long story to delve into and sink your teeth into. This one is 693 pages, 693. Again, more acolytes about the series on the back, a little bit of a snippet of information, and The Echo of Things to Come, again by James Islington. This one is a little bit bigger, as I recall. This one is 718 pages, 718. So a little bit bigger than this one. But again, 2 monster books. If you look at that, Gee, so good, right? I know that the third one in the series, when I picked these 2 up, I did get a notification that the third one in the series is due, I believe, in November. Not sure exact release date, so probably just a couple weeks or so. So I know the third one of this series is coming out soon. If you are a super fast reader, you can get all of that done in a couple weeks, and you can pick up that third book and be ready to go. Unfortunately, I can't do it that fast. I love the look of these books as well. The simplicity of these covers really make things stand out. I like the font. I like the look of them. They're very, they kind of have like this parchment feel to them. I really enjoy that. And I'm looking forward to delving into these. So if you want to find out about this fantasy series, it's basically, if you love the Wheel of Time series, this is about to become your new favorite series. So, sort of from the recommendations and the reviews I've read, I can basically give you an outline of, if you enjoy Wheel of Time and that epic story, but you thought it was just too long and the writing styles was just too involved, this series kind of takes that same thing, that same kind of element, and creates the story, and obviously puts it into 3 books as opposed to 10 or 12 books or whatever the Wheel of Time is. So quite an interesting story as well. So everyone in this world, again, I have not read these, so if I get something wrong, don't blame me. This is just from what I've read or remember from the reviews. So basically, the main characters in these stories, when people become of age, they start showing some magic powers, and if you show these powers, then you become gifted. If you don't show powers, then you're kind of banished. And one of our main characters in the story is not showing any signs of power whatsoever. Of course, you know, somehow, some way, I have a feeling that he's going to show great power throughout the series. So yeah, I look forward to this. So obviously, if we compare here, again, this is the Licanius, Licanius Trilogy, Licanius Trilogy by James Islington. Shadow of What Was Lost, An Echo of Things to Come. These are the first 2, book 3 coming out shortly. And again, I mean, just mammoth size, right? I mean, we're just talking huge. Kind of get some of the, so, you know, you can definitely get into that, right? So again, I think when you compare to the series here, again, we have the Dandelion Dynasty, kind of an Eastern Game of Thrones with an Eastern vibe to it, and then we have the Shadow of What Was Lost, kind of a Wheel of Time type story, not as long, but kind of on the same kind of format, I guess, from what I understand. I haven't read either of these. Both of them come highly, highly recommended. Reviews were great. The video reviews of the series were great. And again, I don't normally pick up mainstream, top 10. Oh, I got to read that one. I got to read that one. So I kind of like to find diamonds in the rough. And if you guys have ever read these, or if you've ever heard about these or interested in these, leave your thoughts and comments down below because I am now in a dilemma. Do I start the Dandelion Dynasty first? Or do I start with the Licanius Trilogy first? Either or, which one of these? Which one should I do? Which one would you be interested in? Because I mean, obviously these suckers are going to take a while. If we actually look at our haul here, we've got us a monster bag. Ugh. Right? I mean, that's some good fantasy writing there. Probably well over about 3,000 pages worth of novels. It's kind of heavy, actually. So interested to find out if anyone has read these. Again, Ken Liu, Dandelion Dynasty, Grace of Kings is book 1. Book 2, The Wall of Storms. Love the look of these books. Just intrigued, just because of the way these look and the information they talk about on the cover, on the back covers, and especially the video reviews. One of the reviewers actually rated the Grace of Kings and The Wall of Storms as her favorite books for the whole year. So that's a lot to live up to, right? So, highly, highly recommended. And then, of course, The Shadow of What Was Lost and An Echo of Things to Come. Again, beautiful, beautiful covers. Really, that kind of is my first thing when I look at these covers. I go, ooh, okay, I'm interested. Then I go and find out more about them. Then I go watch the video reviews, and I read about them. Then I read the readers' reviews. I see how it was, the scores the readers gave it. And then decide if it was be something that I'd be interested in or not. So having the books and holding them in my hands, so much better. So if you know anything about these series, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. And hopefully, I'm in a dilemma, like I mentioned, and that's part of the reason for this is I've got 2 epic, which is going to take me, for me to read something like this is probably going to be a month or longer because I slow in the head. So I just don't read them very fast. And so, when we're talking about should I read this one first and this one, that's like, 1,500 pages. It's going to take me a couple months. Even if I tried, it's going to take me a while to get through these. So I don't want to really start one and then have to put it down and go pick up the other ones. So I'm trying to figure out which one of these series, if you know anything about them, or you've read them, or you've heard stories about them, or any information, which one should I sink my teeth into first? So let me know in the comment section down below. Just remember, guys, what's your story? We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.